Greetings, this is Jim Lindsay. Welcome to the orientation session for CIS 320 for the summer of 2017. I look forward to working with you this summer. What I'd like to do in this lesson is basically talk to you about all the things that we would have talked about in our first meeting in a face-to-face class. We'll go over the class syllabus, we'll look at the class calendar, and I'll make sure that you're familiar with the Blackboard site. That's what we would have done on our first day in a classroom. So that's what I like this to do. So thank you for starting this up, for completing this. This is an important session because basically this gives you an idea of what to expect from the class and what I expect from you. So let's get started. First, let's look at the syllabus, and I'm at the Blackboard site for this class. And as you look at the links over on the left-hand side of the page, we have this one page for the syllabus and the class calendar. If you look at that, you'll see both of these items listed right here. I'm going to open up each of them in turn. Let's go with the syllabus first, and it looks like this. So if you would like this document, please open it. And as you can see, as you look at the welcome message, what I hope we cover in this class is a number of different technologies that are used by business people. This is personal information technology, and so what technologies can we learn about that business people use that make them more equipped to do their jobs? And so some of those jump out at you like right away. Like LinkedIn as an example, and using Twitter to market yourself, and then to connect those and a host of other social media platforms. I'm going to also show you how to use Hootsuite. So those are some things that we'll talk about. In addition to those things, we're also going to be learning about desktop publishing and drawing software, and those are topics that we don't cover anywhere else within the CIS minor, and this is a portion of the CIS minor. And so this is a good place. It fits well with this class to also teach those topics. And so that's what we'll be doing in this class. And if you have questions, let me know. But that's what we're going to be covering throughout the 5-week term. Now, my contact information is listed right here under the instructor portion of the syllabus. And the best way to reach me is going to be my phone. You have my cell phone number right there, and you also have my email address right there. And so if you have questions, please call me. And I can't say this enough. Be very proactive. Some of these things that we'll be learning about will be pretty strange or foreign to you, and so you need to ask questions probably. And so you have my phone number, so call me, and let's talk about whatever you have questions about. So that's my contact information. I will not be on campus. If I can help it at all, I don't want to go to campus, and we're not going to be meeting on campus for any reason. So there's how you get a hold of me: my phone number, my email address, and take advantage of those and let me know what sorts of questions you have. Next, let's look at the required materials, and I've been emailing you about this for a few weeks. I started emailing you like the week before the semester ended if you were enrolled in the class, and this is stuff that you need to have this information because this class may be what you're looking for, it may not be what you're looking for. This is going to help you decide. So let's start with the kind of computer you need. You need to have a Microsoft Windows computer. And if you have an Apple computer and you want to run Parallels or Boot Camp or something like that on it, which allows you to run Windows, okay. But I'm going to leave that up to you, though. I really can't help you with that. I don't have an Apple, and I can't assist you in getting that set up. The software that we use for this class is made for Microsoft Windows computers. And so if you use an Apple computer and you don't want to set up Boot Camp or a Parallels, you probably want to get out of this class. So that's the first thing. We need, and on that computer, on a Microsoft Windows computer, you need to have administrative privileges which allow you to then install software, because we're going to be working with a number of programs that you probably don't have, and you need to be able to download software, install that software, and go forward from there. So right out of the gate, you need a Windows computer on which you can install software. Now, in contrast to that, if you wanted to always go to a WKU computer lab, you could do that, and the WKU computer lab computer would have everything you need on it. But this is a summer class, and I imagine that you guys are spread in multiple states and you're not near a WKU campus, and so the likelihood of that happening is probably just about zero. So if you live, but if you're in Bowling Green and you want to go to a WKU computer lab, you could do that, but otherwise you need that Windows computer. So I want to be as forthright and upfront about that as I can possibly be. What software do we need? Well, we need Microsoft Publisher. We also we need Microsoft Visio, and we're also going to use something called Scribus, which is a free portable app that we'll put onto a USB thumb drive. But those programs only work on Windows. Microsoft Publisher, fortunately, is included in Office 365, and so if you have Office 365 or Office Professional already installed on your machine, you probably have Publisher. Microsoft Visio, I'll bet 9 out of 10 of you don't have that, and we'll download that and install that from what's called the DreamSpark website, and that's something that your technology fees help pay for. And so I will show you how to get that and install that on your Windows computer, but Visio will be the program we use for that. And I'll also show you how to get the portable app program called Scribus that we'll put onto our machines, which we'll use for desktop publishing. So those are different software programs that we're going to use. The textbooks, there are 2 textbooks, and you're going to want both of these. Please don't try and wing it and do it without them. You're going to do probably poorly in the class if you just try to just do it from the top of your head as opposed to getting the books. Please get the books. They're pretty inexpensive. I have links to Amazon for both of those, and I think they're cheaper at Amazon. You're buying those separately from Amazon than buying the bundle. The WKU bookstore has a bundle of both of these books, and we're using this Robin Williams Non-Designer's Design book, that 4th edition, and Helmer's Physio 2013 Step by Step. So you could get those bundled together from the bookstore if you like, but you can also get those online, separately, and I think they're cheaper if you do that. But there are links to those. You want the books. You definitely want the books. We're going to start with the Visio stuff, and I go through, I think we cover about 9 chapters, 10 chapters out of there. If you took everything we do and condense it down, formally I think we have like 8 chapters out of there, but the other partial stuff I take out probably makes up another 2. So we're going to hit that right out of the gate. So you're going to want that Visio book first. If you have to get one before you get the other, get the Visio book first, and then get this design book after that. And that book, the design book, I love that book. In the 15 years that I've been teaching, I think that's the best book I've ever chosen. And I hope that you'll hold on to it. I think the way that Williams teaches through that book is so effective, and I hope that you're going to love it, because I really do enjoy that book very, very much. And so I hope that that's going to be one that you after you're done using it for the class, you hold on to that one for sure. Great. So those are the textbooks that you want, and you definitely want to get those books. You'll need a USB flash drive, and the purpose of the flash drive is for the portable app software that I mentioned to you a second ago at Scribus that will install on it. And I list here that you need 1 gigabyte of free space on there. You probably don't even need that. If you just have a thumb drive or a flash drive that you've been using for your classes, that's going to be fine. What we're going to do is we're going to install this platform called Portable Apps on it, and then we're going to get a specific portable app called Scribus, which uses that platform to run the software out of your memory of your computer. So you need that flash drive that you can install. And what's cool about Scribus is that because it runs off of the flash drive, any Windows computer you go to that has a flash drive, you put that in there, you run the app, and it runs out of memory. It doesn't. So the machine that you go to, whether be in a library or wherever, it doesn't matter, because the software is running in the machine's memory and never getting written to the hard drive. And so really cool stuff. I think you'll like it. But the reason we really want to spend time with that app is that we can use that to create PDF forms, Adobe PDF forms that you can then fill out, and it's free. And it's the only app I've ever found that allows you to do that for free. And so I'm going to show you how to use that Scribus app for those PDF forms, but you have to have a flash drive for it. So that's what you need. Now, lastly, for required things, you'll need a broadband internet connection, and you need to have access to it anytime you want. So like it says right here, unfettered access, basically, any time of day or night that you want access to that internet connection, it needs to be there. Dial-up is not going to be sufficient, because the quantity of data you're going to be trying to download, the streaming video that we'll be using, all of those are going to be basically too much for dial-up. So you need to have a broadband internet connection. And you need a browser, and obviously you have a browser. If you have a computer and an internet connection, you're going to have a browser. So those are the requirements. If you have questions about any of those things, please let me know. Okay, as far as your personal computer goes, I think probably if 100% of you aren't going off of your own computers, I would be very surprised. I think you're probably using your own computer. You have to maintain that. I can't help you with keeping that thing running for this class, and so you need to be responsible for that. You're going to be held responsible for the running of that machine. So that's why I have this note here about your personal computer. So make sure you're backing your data up. And you're going to have that thumb drive anyway, so be backing up your class files and stuff to your thumb drive. If you have two thumb drives, maybe back up one thumb drive to the other thumb drive. But make sure you're running antivirus software. Make sure that you're computing in a safe fashion, so that your machine's going to continue to function throughout the 5 weeks of this course, so you can complete all of your coursework. Let's talk about the format of this class. This class is an online class, and so we never meet face-to-face. This class, I think, this type of class, online learning, I think, is actually harder than face-to-face, because you have to take all of the deadlines, and there are a lot of deadlines, and put those onto your schedule, put those onto your calendar, and then make sure you're keeping up with those. And on top of that, this is a 5-week class. Every 1 week in here is going to be like 3 weeks in a regular class, and so there are lots of different factors contributing to this being this is going to be hard. So please, if this is not for you, that's okay. Just take this in a face-to-face environment, during the spring or the fall. That's fine. But if you do stay in here, please, as it says down here, get yourself a calendar and then put all these deadlines on it, make a study plan, and then really stick to it, because we have a lot to do. This is it's a 300 level class, and there's a lot to learn, and it's not easy. So if you have questions, and then also call me. I mean, you have my phone number, and so as you're running into questions, call me and ask me, ask me for help. So that's basically the format of this class, it works great for some people. It doesn't work well for other people, and maybe you're new to online classes. This may be your first time, so you're not sure, but just make sure you're staying in touch with me and letting me know, what kind of questions you have. Next, let's talk about basically academic dishonesty. Everything you do for this course has to be your own. You can't turn in anybody else's work. If you do, the penalty, as it says down here at the bottom of this little section, the penalty for academic dishonesty is a grade of F. And so, if you cheat on anything, you're going to fail the course, period. Please don't. I hate those conversations. I really, really dread those, because as a teacher, I didn't go into teaching because I wanted to fail people. I wanted to help people learn things and succeed. But you have to do your own work, and so please make sure that you are turning in your own work. If you get ideas, like you're going to have to write some during this course, and so as you are doing some research about this topic or that topic, be keeping track of where you're getting those ideas from, and then cite those sources as you start using that information. So that's it's all, again, this is a 300 level course, and you guys should be used to that by now. But you can't take credit for something you didn't do, period. And so that's all this is about, is making sure that you're doing your own work, or giving credit to others if you've gotten ideas from them. So as you can see from this section of the syllabus, it talks about different examples of things which would be considered cheating. If you have any kind of questions about this, please let me know. Okay, so what are we going to be doing? Well, let's get to that. Let's start talking about these different activities. And the activities which you'll be performing on a regular basis include reading. Obviously, we have a couple of different books we're going to use as sources of information. In addition to those, there are lectures and tutorials that you'll watch, and there are a lot of homework assignments. This is a project-based class, and the way that you learn how to use different applications is to use them. And so you're going to be completing homework assignments. You'll also be writing some, and I alluded to that a second ago. Basically, these reflection papers where I ask you to do something, and then tell me what you learned. What's this? What do you think you learned and used the best? What do you think you were still weak with? That sort of stuff. And so that's talked about in this particular portion of the syllabus. There are writing centers on campus which can help you with this, and please take advantage of that. Even in the summertime, these different services are available. Like, for example, the Writing Center up in Cherry Hall, and I'm sorry, in Cravens now. But what these different services do for you is people that are going to be future English teachers assist you with getting your writing so that it looks, it's the spelling and grammar is correct, and that your ideas are presented in a logical way. They're not going to write it for you, but you take your written stuff in, and then you send it to them. You can do a lot of this stuff online, and then you talk on the phone or through Skype or something like that, and basically get some assistance, making sure that your writing is good. And if you're not real comfortable with recognizing through citations people that you've gotten ideas from, it's another great place is that this writing center is reaching out to them, saying like, hey, I think I've properly acknowledged that these different sources where I got information from. What do you can you give me a second look on this? That's a great place to go for some assistance with that. So that's something we'll be doing, is we'll be writing these reflection papers on a regular basis. So between the writing and the homework assignments and the tutorials and the reading, that's where we're going to be spending our time. You'll see I don't have any tests listed on here. We don't complete tests, traditional multiple choice tests. Everything in here is going to be stuff that you make. It's a very creative kind of class, and so the whole Blackboard kind of test, other than the syllabus quiz, that's the only thing you do that's Blackboard multiple choice related. So let's look at the grading background, the grading breakdown, excuse me. There are 1,000 possible points. 20 points come from your syllabus quiz, which you should take as soon as this is done. And you have the syllabus open while you do it. There's no time limit on it. You just basically, I want to make sure that you understand the stuff that's written in the syllabus, that you understand these concepts. You'll see that the bulk of your points come from homework assignments. 980 points come from these homework assignments. So you're going to be doing stuff pretty much every day. There are 1,000 possible points. In order to get an A, you want 900 to 1,000 points. To get a B, you want 800 to 899 points. C and a D, and so on. So that is the standard grading scale is what I use to determine your grades. If you get 899 points, that's a B. If you get 699 points, that's a D. So you're striving to get those points on those assignments right there. Okay, as I post grades, let me come on down here to this section of the syllabus here. As I post your grades, you're going to have a window of time in which you can then ask questions, because there's enough of you and there's enough going on this summer that if you after 7 days, if you start asking questions, it gets harder to answer those questions. And so when I post a grade, I want your questions about it within a week. And as we get to the end of the semester, that will even shorten up, because I have to turn in your final grades, I think the Tuesday after the class ends. And so if you have questions about stuff on, and I'll be posting your grades with comments, so you say, okay, I deducted points for this, 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 and this. So you should know why I'm making point deductions, but that there is a time frame. So like at the end of the semester, you say, hey, back on that very first assignment, there was this and this deduction. I don't understand that. Well, at that point, it's too late, because you have to be asking those within a certain period of time. There is no extra credit. Like it says, there's no curving, bumping, nudging grades, so please don't ask. Whatever the grade is, that's a grade. If you have a question, and we talk, I could make a mistake. I could put somebody else's grade in for your grade. So if you have a question, ask a question. But once we talk about it, if we determine, hey, that was a legitimate deduction, then that's that. Some of this stuff, most of this stuff, is going to be subjective. And so what do I use as the criteria for grading some of this? Well, you can read through here. I'm not going to read this to you, but you can see these different standards I use for work. You'll see like A work is basically, it's perfect, man. You've turned something in that I could then use as an example for something else in another class. And so if you turn something in and there are spelling errors, there are grammar errors, you didn't completely demonstrate all of the different skills I was asking you to demonstrate, then you're probably going to get B or C or D work. And so depending on how many of those deductions are there. So please read this. Let me know what kind of questions you have. And as I post your grades, if you have questions, I'll be posting grades and comments. Be calling me, call me, and be asking questions. But that's how I'm going to grade the material in this class. All right, let's talk about the last few items on the syllabus here. We have the email section, which basically says I will be sending you email on a pretty regular basis. Please check your email. If you don't, and I'm going to send that through Blackboard. If you don't check your topper mail, your WKU email on a regular basis, please get into that habit, or log into TopNet and make sure that it's forwarding in the email system, and make sure that it's forwarding over to wherever you do check. Because if I send a message through Blackboard, I'm going to assume that you received it. We'll use the Blackboard site like crazy. You probably should be getting on Blackboard every day, at least every other day, to see what's going on. You're going to have a calendar, which is going to help you set up your schedule, but the Blackboard site is basically the way that I'll be able to disseminate information out to the class. And so please be checking that on a very regular basis throughout the summer. If you're new to WKU, I had this last summer And just, if you're new to WKU and you're not familiar with the Blackboard system, please call me if you've got questions, because I had a guy that it was from a different school, and they used like WebCT or Angel or something like that. So he didn't know how to use Blackboard, and unfortunately he didn't call me. Basically the guy was kind of behind, and by the time he got things figured out, he was really behind and didn't do well. And so if you're new to this system, get on the phone and get in touch with me, and let's make sure you know what you're doing, because this is sort of the lifeblood. This is the way that we get the information out to everybody. If you're from Western, if you've been a Western student for a couple of years, you're probably really comfortable with Blackboard and you're good to go. But anybody else, if you're new to this system, make sure you understand what we're doing. Military veterans or dependents of military veterans. There is a service on campus called the Veterans Resource Center, and it's awesome. It's down in Tate Page Hall, room 410, and in it you can get all sorts of assistance, and it's something that you've earned through your service, so please take advantage of it. But one of the things that they offer help with is textbooks, and so as I've used these textbooks for a couple of different semesters now, so there's a chance you could actually get these textbooks for free from that location. So if you're a veteran, I wanted to just make you aware of that service, and that's for all sorts of classes: biology and math and computer information systems and psychology, etc. So please take advantage of that service, because it's really a good one. This next section of the syllabus, we're getting towards the end, guys. This next section of the syllabus is something you should see in every single syllabus going forward at the university. This is something the university has rightfully so basically really started to encourage professors and instructors to include in their syllabi, and it's information about how to report harassment or assault. And so please read through that. If you've experienced sexual harassment or an assault of some sort, these are ways that you can report that. What you need to know is that if you report that to a faculty member, to like a teacher like me, we are considered responsible employees, and you can't, basically when you report that to somebody who falls into that category of responsible employee, we can't keep that to ourselves. We have to go ahead and report that to the university's Title IX coordinator or investigator. And so if you want to report that in a confidential manner, you need to report that to the Counseling and Testing Center, which you can do, and there's a phone number for it right there. And please do, if you've been experienced that, then report that and get basically get help, get some justice. And but the faculty members, if you report that to me, I can't keep that to myself, and so you need to be aware that there are a lot of people on campus to help, but the manner in which you report that will determine to some degree how it's going to be handled or sent upstream. And so again, this is this information was you should see it in every single syllabus going forward at classes at WKU. This is coming from the provost himself, and so we've got a lot of support on this. But if you have questions, let me know. But I wanted to make sure you saw this information and you know this part about the responsible employee portion of it with faculty members. And lastly, if anybody has been to SARC, that's the Student Accessibility Resource Center. If anybody's been to SARC and gotten an accommodation letter, you need to get that to me like today. Take a picture on your phone, you have my cell phone number, and text me your accommodation letter, and then get on the phone and call me so we can be talking about what that's going to mean. If you don't know what I'm talking about with an accommodation letter, don't worry about it. But if you have been to SARC and you have an accommodation letter, send me, take pictures of the letter, and then get on the phone and call me. So that is the syllabus, which that's exciting. We've gotten that completed. So we've talked through the syllabus. Now let's look at the class calendar, and then lastly let's look at the Blackboard site itself. I have the entire course ready for you, and so I want to make sure that you know the entire course is there. Nothing else is going to be added on there, so I don't want this to overwhelm you. But the fact that I'm excited about the fact that all the material is there, but I don't want this to freak you out. So let me show you the calendar first, and then we'll jump into the site, the Blackboard site. So you would have seen all this by the end of the semester anyway, but you're just going to see it all from the beginning, and so don't let that frighten you. Here's the calendar. You can see that we have modules, and there are 8 different modules, and these modules are named after characters from the DC Comics Justice League. You'll see like Aquaman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman. You'll recognize these probably from movies. I try to name these modules after things that people will relate to, and the reason I like the module idea is that basically it lets you know, hey, we're in this chunk of the class, and so I know that this assignment is going to be based on the stuff from this module. It just kind of helps put stuff into different little containers. Each different module is about 4 days long, and yes, some of these modules go through weekends. Do you have to work on them on those specific days? No. In fact, I probably wouldn't. I hope what you're going to see is basically, again, like every week in this class is about 3 weeks in a regular class. And so I took all the stuff that we cover in a regular semester and then broke it down, and this is the way that day-wise it fell out. So each module is about 4 days long, and you can see these are the different lessons included in that module. You're already completing the syllabus and the class calendar and orientation stuff right now. So this is the stuff that's included in these different chunks. This is where you really want to pay a lot of attention. It talks about the quiz or papers or homework deadlines for, and what the dates of those are. So like your syllabus quiz must be completed on either June 5th or June 6th. Basically from midnight on June 5th until 11:59 p.m. on June 6th, the syllabus quiz is available. And you go to Blackboard and it's there, and you can complete it. The projects are all available right now. Every single one of these projects is already right there ready for you to go. And you just have to turn it in by that deadline. And you'll see like the Batman project is due by 11:59 p.m. on June the 12th. And you'll see that coincides with the end of that module right there. So that's how you look at this calendar here and all these different homework assignments. And what I hope you'll also see is essentially each project, like the Batman project, it has you do stuff that you learned in a previous module. The Flash project, what you do for this homework assignment is stuff that you learned up here in Batman. And so you're not going to be tested over the stuff that's in that module, with the exception of the very last one. The very last one is the Red Tornado, and that is a real short module, day-wise on the calendar, but that's the only module which basically makes you do something that you learned about from right there. So that's how you look at this calendar. Please put these deadlines onto your, however you're keeping track of your summer, and then budget your time accordingly, because these are the different lessons you'll need to be completing in order to complete these homework assignments. You'll see that there's a LinkedIn, for example, you do LinkedIn training here, and then the LinkedIn assignment is due down here. Likewise with Twitter, you do the Twitter training during the Wonder Woman module, and then down here, that's when the Twitter project is due. That's how this thing works. And so if you have questions, let me know. I know it looks like a lot, and it is. It's a lot of material, but I hope you're going to enjoy it. Now you'll also note there are 2 days basically missing. June 25th and June 26th are gone. The reason for that is that on June 25th and June 26th, the Blackboard site is going to be down. The IT shop at Western is going to be doing an upgrade or maintenance to the Blackboard servers, and so June 25th, June 26th are blacked out. So I don't have anything due at those times. You know, if you wanted to be working on your Twitter project at that point or something like that, you basically need to kind of plan in advance, like the 25th, 26th. If you wanted to be doing something, I recommend you just take those 2 days off. We're going to be working hard already. But if you do want to work on the 25th and 26th, you're going to have to get some links and make some shortcuts and stuff set up. All the lecture materials in YouTube anyway, and so you could still access that from YouTube. But you know, actually submitting stuff to Blackboard will be impossible on the 25th and 26th, and so that's why they're off the table for us. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, so finally, let's cover the Blackboard site. Let's go to the announcement page. You'll see that this is the announcement page, and I will put announcements out here pretty often for you, trying to remind you about due dates coming up. You know, I have a pretty typical setup, I think. It's kind of hard to know what other teachers do, but I think I'm pretty consistent with what other teachers do. I have like my instructor information right there. If you need to reach me, there's my phone number, there's my email address. So if you lose the syllabus, my contact information is listed right there. The syllabus and the class calendar are right there for you. If you would like to get copies of those, please do. Lessons, this is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. You'll see each of the modules, they're all here and they're all completely ready to go. And so you start at the top and basically work your way down. When you go into Aquaman, for example, there's the orientation session you're completing out right now. So good job, you got that one already done. The Office 365 lesson, there's information about it right there. And so a lot of the times there's like a tutorial video up here, and then these are just links to things that help you with that material. So there's not necessarily there's not like 4 different lectures here. There's one tutorial, and then these are supporting items that go with it, and so on. And so that's the breakdown of how this site is put together. So the lessons are right here. Now let's go into the Aquaman one more time. You'll see that down here. Actually, let's go to Batman, because Batman's the second module, and it's the first one for which you actually have a homework assignment. So you'll see there's a Batman project folder right here. If you click on that, there's a link to a movie. If you click on this, that's a movie about how to do or what to do for the Batman project. Now the actual homework assignment is going to be over here in the syllabus, quiz, papers, and homework. If you click on that, there's the syllabus quiz, and again that will disappear at 11:59 p.m. on June the 6th. But there is the Batman project right there. And so, you know, you watch this movie about what to do for the Batman project, and then over here on the homework page, that's where you get the assignment and you submit the assignment. And likewise with Flash, Martian Manhunter, the LinkedIn project, the Superman project, and so on. So again, don't let this freak you out. You'll see that all these deadlines are, they match up with the calendar. They go all the way out to July the 7th. And so if you have questions, let me know. I hope that this is understandable the way this is presented, but I debated whether to give you like little bits of, little chunks of stuff at a time, but what I ultimately decided was, just give everybody everything right now, and then they can work at their own pace. As long as they're getting stuff turned in by the deadlines, they're going to be all right. So that's why I presented it this way. If you don't want to work on this one, if you don't want to work on the Flash, I wouldn't work on Flash until you have Batman done. I wouldn't work on Martian Manhunter until you have Flash done, and so on. So that's how I would attack this this work. There are some hyperlinks in here that I think are helpful. This one right here is basically a hyperlink which allows you to get Office 365 if you don't already have it. That's basically going to get you Publisher. And so this DreamSpark link, when you click on that, it's going to get you to the Software Media Center, so you can log into it and get Visio. And there's a you'll see there's a lesson about how to get that in that DreamSpark orientation. I show you how to get Visio. And then the student data files for the Visio work that we're going to do. These are the files that came along with that book on a CD, or you can download those from the website for that book. But in those lessons for the Visio stuff, I'll say, hey, if you want to get the files for Chapter 5 from the website, and those are the files that you get right there. So that's all available from this helpful hyperlinks page right there. The tools are exactly what you see in other classes, like your grades and email and stuff like that. And I included a IT help desk link because this is an online class, and if you're having trouble with any of your accounts, this will help you get in touch with the IT department. So that's the Blackboard site. So I've covered a lot. I hope that this information is going to be helpful to you. Again, if you have trouble, call me. There's my phone number right there. And call me and stay in touch with me and let me know what you're struggling with so I can assist you with it. Again, all the material is out here, so at this point my role is just going to be to help you navigate this gauntlet of work and to grade stuff for you. So I look forward to working with you, and thanks for your time and attention.